Yeah, hi there. In this tutorial, we are going to cover the object-oriented programming concepts in Python. So what is object-oriented programming? Object-oriented programming, it's a programming paradigm that is based on the concept of classes and objects. So that reusable piece of code is called as classes, which is also known as called as blueprint, and we create the individual instances of the classes which are called as the objects. So some of the basic building blocks of object-oriented programming are class, which is basically uh, a kind of a blueprint, and it is a logical group of data and function. Then we have object, which is an instance of a class. So we create multiple instances of a class, and each instance is an object, and each object is different from another object of the same class. Then we have method. Method is a function which is used to access the data of a class or data of an object. An attribute, it is the variables of a instance type or of a class which basically contains the data that we access via the method. So we'll start with taking an example. Let's say I want to create an employee. So how do we create a, so first what we have to do, we have to create a class, and then we have to create the objects which are the instance of that class. So our class is called as employee. So let's say I want to create a class called as employee, and I'm not defining anything for this particular class as of now. So what we have to do, we have to give just write this statement pass. So the syntax is class, name of the class, that is user defined, that is this is the name that we want to give. So the keyword is the class, and this is the user defined class name employee. Right now I don't want to specify anything for this particular class, so I have to at least give one statement to this definition. So I'm giving it as pass, that is it doesn't define anything as of now. Now the definition exists now, employee definition, even though it doesn't contain any attribute or any method or anything. It's just like an empty class. Okay, now we can create two instances of this class. I mean, we can create as many as we want to, but I'm creating any two right now. So E1 is one instance. So how do we create an instance, which is also called as the object of the class? So E1, this is the name of the instance that we are creating. This is the name that we are giving, equals to employee. So this is the name of the class. And then this parentheses. So what it says that create an object or create an instance of employee class, and that instance is E1. Create a second instance, another instance of employee class, and that instance is E2. Okay. Now, if I want to see whether these instances are different or occupying the same memory, we can just simply print their IDs just to are totally different objects, even though they belong to the same class employee, but they are two individual objects. And because these are two individual objects, so definitely they would have their different IDs, right? So if I run this program, what I get is the ID of the object E1 is this, and the ID of the object E2 is a different one. So what it means that E1 and E2, these are the two objects or the instance of class employee, and they belong, and these are individual. They are not related to each other except for the fact that they belong to the same class. But otherwise, they are totally independent objects, and they have their individual existence in the memory. Okay, so now continuing further, now let's say we want to expand the definition of employee, because earlier what we created just an empty class employee. Now we want to expand it. So what I have to do, just like I mean, if you are familiar with the concept of constructor that we have used in programming languages like C, C++. So basically, similarly, we have init in Python. So what it does, it's like a constructor, or you can say it's like an initializer. So this method is called whenever we create an instance of a class. So for example, whenever we create an instance of this class employee, this initialize, or you can say in a way constructor, gets called immediately. And the basic purpose of this init method is to initialize the object with some variable values. So I want to create the employee class, and I want to specify some values also to the employees, because employees will be having a name. So I want to give the first name, last name, the gender of the employee, and the salary of the employee. Though I can add more attributes, but let's just stick to these four for now. So what we are doing is we are defining initialize method. So uh, the keyword is def, and this is the keyword is underscore underscore init underscore underscore. It is also called as dunder, these double underscores. And the first argument to any method within a class is the self. What it indicates that this um so basically this self will point to the instance, the individual instance for which the given method is called. Okay, and then that particular object instance will have some attribute value, so which we are passing and assigning to these variables: first name, last name, gender, and salary. Now this is what we are passing at the time of initialization. And then we have to, so what we are doing is self dot first name equals to first name, self dot last name equals to last name. So these lines, self dot first name, self dot last name, these are what these lines do. Basically, the instance of the class for which the method is called, that instance will have these attributes set based on the values that are passed at the time of initialization. Okay, so if I scroll down a little bit, so what I'll do, I'll call the employee class with these attributes: Annie, Kapoor, F 30,000. So basically Annie becomes the first name, this is the second name or the last name, gender, and the salary. So these are the values which we are passing to the employee class. Okay, so what it will do, it will call this underscore underscore init underscore underscore method, that is, it will call the initializer, and it will initialize the object instance with these values. And where this initialization takes place, because these are the values that we are passing here, these values get stored in this as a attribute values or the or parameters to this particular method. And then this is the place where the instance attributes are set. So whatever we are passing at the time of initialization or at the time of creating the object, those values get stored into these arguments or the parameters which are called to this particular init method, and then we are assigning the values to the instance, to that respective instance. Now once it is set, let's say if we want to print the full name, so I have created another method called as full name. So def full name, by default, as we know, the first argument to a method within a class is self, so we have to specify self. It will automatically come if you are using an IDE, otherwise we have to specify self. And then what we are trying to return, I want to return the full name, that is the first name space last name. So I'm just returning self dot first name plus there's a space concatenation, basically self dot last name. So self represents the individual object or the individual instance corresponding to which this particular method is called. Okay, so we have our class ready employee. It has initialization method to which we will be passing the first name, last name, gender, and salary. And then we have got one another method created, which is full name, that will basically return the full name of the employee. Now we are creating an empty list of employee. Emp underscore list equals to, this is an empty list. Now to this list we'll be appending the employee objects. So so my list dot append. So what we will append an object that will created once we call this particular employee class with these particular values. Okay, so it will create an object and it will append it to this particular list, employee list. Similarly, we are creating one more employee object with these, now this time with the different attributes. First name, last name, gender, and salary is changed. It will create another instance or the another object of the employee and it will append it to employee underscore list. Now our employee underscore list contains two objects or two instances of the employee class. So which we can print it. So using the loop for e in employee underscore list, I'm using this loop. I'm printing the e dot full name. So e basically represents the individual object which is there in this emp underscore list. So e dot full name will call that instance of that object's full name method. So full name is what we define in the class. And then to access the other attributes, we can directly access using instance name dot attribute name, that attribute which we specified at the time of creation of the class, like gender, salary, email. So full name we are getting with the help of this method full name, and the other attributes we are getting with the help directly we are accessing from the instance. So e dot gender, e dot salary, e dot we don't need gender twice. We can remove one, yeah, and email. So if I execute this, yeah. So this is what we get. This is the full name that we got from this e dot full name, then the gender of the employee and the salary and the employee email address. Now email address was something that we did not pass at the time of creation of this employee object. So how it got created. So within the init method, we created self.email is equal to first name plus dot plus last name at the rate company.com. So this is the attribute that we created within the init method and we assigned it to the uh, instance using self.email. Okay, so this loop will run twice because we actually created two employee objects and appended those to employee underscore list. So that's how we got these two values. Now one more thing we can do is, let's say we can also say for e in employee underscore list, that is we want to run the loop. Now instead of calling instance dot method name or instance dot attribute name, what we can directly do. So here we have instance dot in the in this particular function. If you see, we are calling instance dot method name. Another way to call it is we can specify the class name dot method name, and we are passing that particular instance as an argument to it. So note the difference when you are calling using instance dot method name. There you don't have to pass any instance in this method, because by default it will actually the current instance will be passed as a self. But if you are calling using class name dot method name, for example in this case this is the class name employee and method name is the full name, then you have to specify that specific instance, because when you are when you're calling using instance name dot method name, then it knows that it has to call that particular method for this given instance only, for this particular object only. Okay. However, when you are calling using class name dot method name, then you have to specify, because a class can have n number of objects, that is instances. Okay, so you have to tell for which particular instance you want to call that particular method. So that is why we have to pass that object name or instance name as an argument to it. So so in this case also we are just calling we're just looping and calling the class name dot method name is our full name, so employee dot full name, and we are passing that instance e. So each time e will point to the different object which are there in this employee underscore list, and accordingly we will be getting the first name and full name of the employees. Let's take another example. So another simple example I'm taking is creating a class for car. Okay, so this is a class This is a keyword and car is the name of the class that we are specifying. Now we are creating the init method, and some of the attributes that we are initializing at the time of creating this object is company, model, color, speed limit. So basically what we are saying is this particular car class will be created and it will have these attributes like company, that is a company which manufactured the car, the model of the car, color of the car, and the speed limit. So these are the values that will be passed at the time of creation of the object, and these values are assigned to the instance using self.company equals to company, self.model equals to model. Now, another thing to note that it is not necessary that these names like self.company is equal to company, these names should match. So this is basically you can represent it by another variables like CM, COL, color, or speed limit, but it makes better sense that we give the appropriate name so that we can just look at the code and understand, okay, these are the values which belong to particular company or model or color and speed limit, and accordingly we are setting the instances of the class by using self dot company name, model, color, and like this. Okay, so this is the initialization method dot def underscore underscore init underscore underscore. So this will do the initialization work, that is it will initialize the values for individual instance of the car object. Now now once it is done, we want to get some information by so what we are doing is we are defining two methods. One is get speed limit and get model. So basically speed limit, what it will do, it will get speed limit, it will return the speed limit of the current instance. So whatever the current instance for which this method is called, it will return the self dot speed limit. So self will represent the current instance or the current object corresponding to which this particular method get speed limit is called. Similarly, get model will represent the model name of the car object for which this particular method is called. Now, we have our class defined and initialization method also defined, and we have defined two other methods to get the speed limit and the model name. So what we are doing is we are creating the instance of this car class. So the instance name is my first car. So this is the object or the instance that I'm creating. So we have to call the car is the name of the class, and then we are specifying the attributes that we are passing to it. So Hyundai i10 Red 150. So what it will do, it will call the init method of this car class, and it will do the initialization work. So whatever the values that we are passing will get first initially assigned to company, will be assigned to Hyundai, i10 will be assigned to model, and color red will be assigned to color, and 150 will be assigned to speed limit. These attributes, and then these attributes are set as the object attributes using self.company equals to company and so on. So this is our object that's created. Now what we can do, we can just simply call these methods which we created, get speed limit and get model, using the object name dot method name. So I'm calling my first car, this is the object name dot get model, it will return the model, and my first car, again this is the object name, and get speed limit is the get speed limit, it will return the speed limit of this particular car. So in the output, so I'm just printing some string, and using the f string I am just printing some text, and within that f string method I am just calling these methods of that particular object. So it will print like this: my first car is i10 having maximum speed limit as 150. So what we covered in this, basically, we covered how to create a class in Python. So we specify class and the name of the class, and after that we specify the initialization method, which basically contains the self and the attribute uh, attributes which we want to assign for this particular class, and then we can create our own user-defined methods which will return the values. So this is how we create class and objects within the Python. We'll cover more in the next sessions. Thank you.